women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself, but the hell else are you going to do about it? Sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, it's just not a strategy. It's not going to get you anywhere. In fact, it just makes it all worse because it's true. You do get back what you put out there, which is actually a pretty decent segue into today's topic, which is forgiveness. This information, by the way, is from the Mayo Clinic. Now, I'll be honest, this is something I think people are surprised because I'm known as being pretty friendly and kind. I struggle. I really struggle with forgiveness. But here's the thing, holding a grudge is easy. Forgiveness is a lot harder, but you know what? It's really empowering. A lot of us see it as, well, that just makes me a doormat, but you're looking at it the wrong way. Forgiveness has nothing, it has nothing to do with the other person. It really doesn't. It has everything to do with you. So what does it mean to forgive somebody? Well, obviously, it's going to be pretty different for different people. We're all individuals. We all have our own way of processing things. But essentially, it's a deliberate choice to let go of the hurt, the anger, the resentment, the revenge fantasies. I'm really good at those. Forgiveness can lead to you having a little compassion and empathy for the person who hurt you. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want that, but you do because it makes you a better person. It makes you it helps with your confidence, it helps with your self-esteem. You need to remember when we're dealing with other people, they're just doing the best they can. I should have pulled my hair back. They're just doing the best they can with the skills they have available. And unfortunately, a lot of people have really crappy skills. But when you forgive them, I think I already said this, but it doesn't excuse their behavior. It doesn't make what they did to you acceptable. It just means you're choosing to take your power back because you know what? When you hold on to that resentment, whoever you're angry at, they're in your head and they have control over you. Why? Don't let a jerk have that kind of power over you. Kick them the hell out of your mind. Benefits of forgiveness. Well, you're going to have healthier relationships, certainly, because you're not dragging all that luggage around with you. It leads to better mental health because it's going to lessen depression symptoms. It's going to help with anxiety. It's going to help with anger. It lowers your blood pressure. It's good for your heart. It's good for your self-esteem. And here's the one, as a person living with autoimmune disease, this is actually really amazing and very cool to me. It boosts your immune system. Isn't that crazy? Oh, yeah, sign me up for that. I could use that. The effects of carrying a grudge are not as pleasant. You're dragging, look, you are judging every single person you encounter by that jerk. Whenever you drag that baggage around with you, I do this with women a lot. I'm not going to go into detail, but one of my lifelong friends, boy, I hesitate to use that word, she really wronged me repeatedly. I should have never tolerated it, but I did. But I can't help it. I have not forgiven her. I'm working on it, but I haven't forgiven her yet. But I drag that into every new friendship that I make, and I'm always very suspicious. Isn't that sad? What a way to go, especially for somebody who's really outgoing and friendly. But I am really suspicious of people. And it's because I haven't done the work to forgive her. So I'm dragging all that crap and I'm judging every woman that I encounter by that yardstick. That's not fair. It's not. And it's a few years ago, a good friend of mine was going through a really, really ugly divorce. I was her friend long before his, but I liked him until the divorce and all the horrible crap that he pulled and like moving money out of the country. And it was so bizarre. It was, I thought, out of character for him. But anyway, my poor girlfriend for like 2 years was so caught up well, he wronged me. Well, he did wrong her terribly. But she was so caught up in that, she couldn't enjoy her life. And that's really, I mean, it got to the point I love her. She's a wonderful, amazing, vibrant, intelligent woman. She's very compassionate. I have a ton of respect for her, but I did have to take a huge step back from the friendship because I couldn't deal with the negativity every time we would get together. Hey, how you doing? Great. How are you doing? Well, that son of a bitch, and she'd be off and running. Now, I'm not saying she didn't have the right to be pissed off. I'm not saying she didn't have the right to feel all those things that she felt towards him. But he moved on real fast. And it took her a couple of years. Why? Because she struggled to forgive him. Again, the forgiveness, it's not about him. It's about her. It's not about the other person. It's not about the jerk that hurt you. It's about you. Um, Grudge effects, you get depressed, you get anxious, start second guessing everybody in your life. You get a sense of, you lose your sense of connectedness. Yeah, I freely, yes. When I think about my former friend, I think about all the situations where I could have had a lot of support from other women, but I keep everybody kind of at a distance because it's safer. It's easier for me. But I do have a loss of connectedness, and it can even lead, if it gets really out of control, it can lead to a lack of a sense of purpose. So how do you forgive someone who's just really treated you poorly? Well, you need to know you need to know it's not a one and done. Forgiveness is a process. It would be so much easier if it was, okay, I forgive you and it's over. It's not over. My experience with it is I forgive you a little more every time I think about it. Okay, not every time. Because at first I'll throw between, oh, I forgive you and you son of a bitch, I hope you, and they go off into a great revenge fantasy. I'm so good at those. But it's not a one and done. You need to understand that it's all about you. Forgiveness has nothing at all to do with the other person. You're just taking control of your emotions. You're taking control of your life. Because if you're caught up in it, if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It can overwhelm you, it can consume you. Why? You're giving all your power away to someone who, by definition, doesn't deserve that. Well, nobody deserves that, but don't give it to people like that. You need to accept how you feel about what they did to you. You also need to be specific because, especially when you get a year or two down the road, it can be real easy. Well, it was wrong. Well, okay, it was wrong, but what specifically? Well, the whole thing. But okay, but you can't forgive the whole thing. You need to dial in. He was wrong. Sorry, I'm going to throw my friend kind of under the bus here, but none of you know who I'm talking about. So it was wrong when he hid the money. It was wrong when he played games with their kids. It was wrong. But being pissed at him about it didn't change any of it. He still did it. So you have to accept how you feel about these things. And once you can accept how you feel, then you can work on letting it go. How do you let it go? Well, you know what? Pray about it. If you're not the praying type, meditate about it. Get a journal, write about it. You can even, I had a friend just this morning. This is why I'm talking about this. This actually came up. I was having a conversation with a very dear friend earlier today, and I brought up my old girlfriend that had, I mean, really, if I told you guys, you'd seriously be horrified. This isn't just garden level catty bitchy stuff. This is seriously evil, horrifying stuff. Um, but write a letter, write a rage letter. You son of a bitch, and I hate you, and you did this, and I felt this way. Get it all off your chest, and then burn it, tear it up, bury it, whatever you have to do. But you have look. Most of my health issues, frankly, are driven by the fact that I struggle so hard with forgiveness. I have a lot of things that I've just bottled up inside of me since I was a little girl. And a lot of it's pretty major stuff. Well, it's going to come out one way or another. You either can get a grip on this or it can destroy your health. I'm not saying it will necessarily, but it can. I'm living proof of that. If if you can, and I know it's hard when someone's a jerk to you, but try to see the situation from their perspective. And I know it's cheesy and trite, but it's true. Hurt people hurt people. Normal, functioning human beings don't run around trying to destroy other people. They just don't. So try to have a little compassion and empathy for them. That doesn't mean to go snuggling back up with them. Absolutely not. You need to set well, frankly, you need to get them the hell out of your life. If it's somebody you cannot ease out of your life, you are going to have to set very firm boundaries and you're going to have to stand behind them. But at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about how you feel. It's about how you are going through life. Don't carry this shit around with you because it's not worth it. And if you're still really struggling, if it's like, okay, lady, that's fine. I can't. Honestly, I urge you to try counseling. And it's funny that I am so big on recommending counseling to other people, but I I personally don't really care for it. I've gone, I've tried it, but I do know it's beneficial for a lot of people. So if none of these other things work, maybe you should try counseling. But at the end of the day, it really is just a choice. It is a choice whether you're going to hang on to that anger, whether you're going to let that person continue to have an impact on your life, or if you're going to choose to just acknowledge, okay, that person's a complete flaming jackass. That's not my problem. And let go of it and move on. Anyway, I've been awake since 2 o'clock this morning. And while I go to bed early, I sure as hell don't go to bed that early. I'm exhausted, which is why I was so late this morning. I'm just moving. I'm moving so incredibly slowly, but I'm still moving. I got my exercise in. That's the main thing. But anyway, I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. I will be back Monday at 11 o'clock ish.